Nnamdi Kanu's matter has taken another big turn in Abuja as Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court has ordered that the trial must continue. The judge looked at everything the Department of State Services brought forward and ruled that the prosecution has shown enough for Kanu to defend himself in court. In simple words, the judge is saying the case cannot just end here. Kanu must now bring his own defense and respond to the charges. My people, this decision is what people are calling a huge turn because it has changed the direction of the whole trial. Don't forget, as we go on, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss more updates on this very important story. Now, let's understand this carefully. Before now, Kanu's lawyers told the court that the government had not shown any serious case, that the witnesses and evidence were not strong enough, and they asked the judge to strike it out. That is what lawyers call a no-case submission. But Justice Omotosho refused that request. He said the evidence the DSS presented is enough to call Kanu to explain himself. So instead of the case ending, the case is moving to the stage where Kanu has to defend. This is serious, and it's why everyone is talking. Please, if you're following, like this video right now and subscribe because you need to stay updated with every move in this trial. We must also remember who Nnamdi Kanu is and why his case matters. He is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and has been facing terrorism-related charges for years. He was first arrested back in 2015, later granted bail in 2017. Then he traveled out of the country and was later brought back to Nigeria in 2021. Since then, he has been in custody and going through different court hearings, adjournments, and battles between his lawyers and the federal government. The matter has dragged for years, and many Nigerians both home and abroad keep watching closely. That is why when Justice Omotosho gave this new ruling, everybody reacted quickly. And please, as I'm explaining this to you, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button because more gist is still coming. Another big part of the latest ruling is about Kanu's health. His lawyers told the court that he is not feeling well, that he needs proper medical attention. The judge listened and directed the Nigerian Medical Association to step in. He asked them to examine Kanu properly and bring back a report to the court. That report is important because if it shows Kanu is not healthy enough, the court may allow him to be taken to a hospital or to get special treatment. If the report says he is fit, then the trial will continue without delay. So you see, health is now part of this story. Again, if you are following this gist and you want me to keep bringing more updates, kindly like this video and subscribe now. Now, let's talk about what this ruling really means for the future. There are 4 big possibilities ahead. 1. After Kanu defends himself, the court could find him not guilty. If that happens, he will be released, and that would bring serious reactions everywhere. Supporters will celebrate, and it may also open discussions about peace and reconciliation in the country. 2. The court could find him guilty and sentence him. That will be a big win for the prosecution, but it may also spark strong reactions from his supporters and cause long appeals. 3. There could be a negotiated settlement, some kind of political or legal agreement where Kanu makes a deal on certain conditions. In Nigeria's history, such things happen quietly behind the scenes. And 4. The case could simply drag on with more delays, more appeals, and more motions, which means no quick end. All of these are on the table right now. So you need to stay tuned, and please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the outcome when it finally drops. This case is not just about law, it also carries political weight. For supporters of Kanu, especially in the southeast, they see him as a freedom fighter who is being punished for speaking up. For the government, they see him as someone who encouraged actions that led to unrest and insecurity. These two views are far apart, and that is why the trial gets so much attention. Even outside Nigeria, people in the diaspora are watching. Governments of other countries are aware too, because of how sensitive the matter is. This is why any ruling in this case shakes the airwaves. Again, if you are watching now, please like this video and click subscribe so that you will not miss the next gist. Let me also remind you that this is not the first time Nigeria is having such a high-profile case. In the past, we have seen political cases drag for years, and each time, the outcome affects the trust people have in the justice system. That is exactly what is happening here again. If Kanu is freed, many will say the government had no strong evidence. If he is convicted, many will say it was political, and if it drags on, people may begin to lose patience. Either way, Nigeria as a country is learning how to handle sensitive cases that touch on both security and politics. Please, as you listen to this, show support by liking this video and subscribing right now. And now, the question I want to throw to you, out of the 4 possibilities, acquittal, conviction, negotiation, or delay, which one do you think will happen? Drop your answer in the comment section because I really want to hear from you. Your opinion matters, and I know a lot of people will also like to read your views. And don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed, now is the time to do so you don't miss the next breakdown when the court resumes. When we look at what is happening with Nnamdi Kanu now, we must also think about how this case connects with the wider atmosphere in Nigeria. In the southeast, people have been calling for his release for a long time. Every time there is a new ruling, you see different kinds of reactions on social media, in the streets, and even from community leaders. Some groups have said that peace in the region is tied to how the government handles this case. If the government is seen as being fair, then maybe tensions can reduce. But if people feel the trial is unfair, then the feeling of mistrust will grow stronger. This is why this trial is more than just one man standing in court. And please, before I continue, take a moment to like this video and subscribe so you stay with me till the very end. Another thing to watch is the role of health in this trial. When a high-profile detainee like Kanu complains of health problems, it becomes both a legal and a political issue. Courts around the world always consider if someone is medically fit to stand trial because justice must also respect human rights. So now that the Nigerian Medical Association has been asked to check him, everybody is waiting for their report. If they say Kanu needs serious treatment, that might cause a new twist, maybe moving him to a hospital outside the DSS facility, maybe even abroad if the situation requires. And if they say he is okay, then the trial continues without delay. Either way, health has entered the center of the gist. Please, if you are still here listening, show support by liking this video right now and don't forget to subscribe. Let's talk about the judge too, Justice James Omotosho. Handling this case is not easy because the whole country is watching. Every word from the bench is reported. Every ruling is analyzed. For a judge, the focus is always on the law and the evidence, but in the background there is pressure from public opinion, from politics, even from history. So when he said there is a prima facie case, meaning the prosecution has enough to continue, he was not making a final judgment yet. He was only saying, yes, the evidence is strong enough to be answered, so let us hear from the defense. That is an important point to understand. The trial is not over, but it has just entered a very serious stage. My people, if you are learning something new from this breakdown, kindly like this video and hit subscribe because more analysis is still coming. Now, let us imagine each of the 4 possibilities again, but this time with more real-life impact. If he is acquitted, imagine the reaction on the streets of Aba, Onitsha, Enugu people will pour out in celebration. It may also increase calls for political dialogue on how to manage agitation in Nigeria. But if he is convicted, we might see protests, especially from young people who believe in him. That could create tension that government would have to manage carefully. If a deal is reached, it may come quietly, maybe not even through the open court, but people will still notice when his condition changes. And if the case drags on, it will keep the country in suspense because every adjournment will become a headline. Which one do you think is most likely? Please pause now, type your opinion in the comment section, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Beyond law and politics, this case also tells us something about the justice system in Nigeria. Trials of this level test how strong the courts are, how fair they can be, and how quickly they can deliver. Some people complain about delays. Others say the system is too politicized. But whatever your view, what happens in Kanu's case will either add trust or remove trust from the courts. That is why lawyers, journalists, activists, even international observers are watching. So when you see headlines about his court dates, don't just brush them aside. Understand that they carry weight for the future of rule of law in Nigeria. Please, if you agree this is an important gist, give this video a like and subscribe so you don't miss when I explain the next update. And let me not forget the international angle. Nnamdi Kanu also holds British citizenship. Because of that, the UK government and other international bodies sometimes comment or show interest. If the case gets to a stage where human rights issues are raised, international voices may become louder. That could put pressure on Nigeria to handle the matter with extra care. It has happened in other cases before, where global attention forced local authorities to adjust. So don't be surprised if in the coming weeks you hear reactions not just from Nigeria but also from foreign leaders. Remember, like this video and subscribe, because we will follow it together when that moment comes. Now, I want to engage you directly again. Do you think this case can actually bring peace if handled well, or do you think it will only deepen divisions? Some people believe releasing Kanu could reduce agitation and insecurity in the southeast. Others believe it could encourage more agitation if not managed carefully. What do you think? Type your thoughts in the comments, and while you are doing that, click like and subscribe so we can keep building this community of informed viewers.